I think in this case, the Metropolitan Police may have actually been chasing a car, a suspect car, as it was moving eastward toward the Capitol. And somewhere in there, and again, I apologize because I'm just catching the news as you are. It seems then that maybe as the car approached, the area of the Capitol that many, people are familiar with, that shots may have been fired. There may have been a woman suspect involved. It looks pretty clear, like at least one law enforcement officer was injured. Don't know the extent of the injuries. I think they're starting to open the Capitol back up, and get people back into the buildings. I think they had sort of ordered both members and staff to the south side of the building, which is the side of the building toward the Potomac River and away from, the street where I think the shooting may have occurred. So, I think they're doing all the right things. The good news is, such as it is, James, is, ironically perhaps, because of the government shutdown, there were a much smaller group of, tourist people on the street around the Capitol. And as you know, the next to the Capitol, really in the same location, or co-located really in that area is the Supreme Court. So, there's a lot of, sort of quasi-important federal activity that happens in that area of the city. But again, the good news is perhaps that, there weren't nearly the crowds. It's a very nice warm day in Washington that you might have had during the week, had Congress been in, had the government still been running.
Is this a case of, or is this basically a lemon nut? Is this what it's going to get turned into?
My guess, and it's nothing better than that, James, is the answer is probably yes. It looks like, and again, this is very preliminary, and it could be, it could be changed quickly, but it looks like, the incident, the shooting, and the woman that apparently the female suspect that was shot and perhaps killed, that it wasn't any kind of terrorist activity or something like that. It was apparently a routine, started out as a routine stop or suspicion, again, from the Metropolitan Police, just like police, every day in every city stop people for various reasons, and it turned into something more, and it just so happened that I think a chase ensued, and it wound up, coming into the U.S. Capitol near the Supreme Court, which, again, is filled with, various, law enforcement officials. So the response time, I assume, was immediate.
We've got Dr. Jack Caravelli with us today. The Capitol is on lockdown. There's gunshots that have been fired outside. Is this going to be spun, you think, into a false flag situation where we're going to try to stem up gun control? I don't know how the hell we're going to try to get anything passed when everybody's out to lunch. But do you think that that this is going to be another, hey, somebody had a gun? Last month we had the Navy shipyard thing. Take all the guns away. Is that what?
Yeah, well, of course that certainly could happen. It seems clear that, again, there was at least one wounded officer. So, of course, law enforcement will be justifiably very unhappy about that.
Yeah.
And then, there may have been the female suspect shot and killed, in this exchange. But the larger questions that you raise, look, inevitably, somebody in the media or elsewhere will say, it's just another example of, guns gone wild. So we'll just have to see how that plays out.
We've got Dr. Jack Caravelli joining us today, impromptu. I apologize for calling him just impromptu. He of course is from Lignet.com, and they do a lot of coverage of different things over there as far as policy analysis and things of that nature. And this breaking news just happened right before we got on the air here, and the U.S. Capitol in lockdown after reporters after reports of shots fired outside. That happened as early as 2:35 Eastern time. And Doctor, I know that you sent me an email this morning and said things were a mess, and then we had this happen.
I'm not a prophet.
Were you foreshadowing things, my friend?
I certainly hope not. Of course, almost any day in Washington, you can comfortably say that things are a mess, and you'll be right. But that's on a broader issue, and obviously we hope and pray for the best for the wounded police officer, and just to wait the details that probably in the next few hours will start to emerge on just how this, on just what triggered it. Again, I do not think at present that there was any kind of terrorist lone wolf sort of thing at all. But again, we shouldn't pass any immediate judgments until we hear a lot more from the people on the scene.
Well, NBC News is reporting that the female suspect shot after earlier attempt to ram White House. Subsequent chase to the U.S. Capitol, lockdown lifted in Washington as of a couple minutes ago from NBC News.
Well, I haven't seen the front part that she may have tried to do something at the White House. As you know, the front of the White House is now totally barred from traffic, so I'm not even sure what the heck she was aiming at. And having worked in that building, I can tell you that the security around it is extraordinary. But again, I have no idea what precipitated it, and any news that comes out we'll have to look at carefully.
We've got Dr. Jack Caravelli with us today. Lignet is the place to get all of your updated news and policy analysis on the issues of the day. With this shooting taking place near the Hart Senate office building in D.C., do you think that this is a situation of people are just fed up, or do you think that this is just something else, somebody taking advantage of a situation?
James, anything, it's a great question. Anything I say would be pure speculation. I mean, we don't know this woman, her background, or what motivated her. It looks like she may have had a small child in the car with her at the time, which sort of just adds to the strange and bizarre and unusual nature of all this. And I think we just have to wait and see what comes out. But I just saw I was looking at the local ABC affiliate, and there was a police officer carrying a small, I don't know, small, but maybe it looks like maybe a 4 or 5 year old child in his arms, and how that all happened, who knows?
Well, we've got Dr. Jack Caravelli joining us today at 20 minutes after the hour, and Doctor, I appreciate you being with us here to cover this late-breaking news. I guess we can just send everybody over to Lignet. Is that pretty much where we need to send them?
Well, we'll certainly look at this tomorrow on Lignet, and ironically, James, today on Lignet we ran a very interesting and important piece, I thought, on homegrown terrorism in the United Kingdom from a UK terrorism expert, and I am pretty sure that next week we're going to run a companion piece on U.S. Domestic terrorism. I had a very interesting and long conversation with a recently retired police chief from New York City, Joe Esposito, who's a real pro. He gave me some great insights. They're insights he wanted shared on Lignet, and we're going to run I think a pretty good exclusive piece on that next week, and so we'll have to talk more about that soon.
Well, that'll work. Well, Doctor, I will talk to you next Wednesday. I appreciate you for being there in the pinch when I needed you. And thank you, sir. We will talk next week.
James, thank you very much. I'm going to go back to washing my car.
Definitely. Have yourself a wonderful day, Doctor. Thank you, sir.
Take care, James.
Dr. Jack Caravelli with us today. We're going to take a quick time out here. When we come back, we will continue to follow the story and see what's going on out there. When we get more information, we will get it to you here on the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar show. Back in a few moments.
New titles are now available on ePrintedBooks.com. Explore a new bookstore with exclusives you won't find anywhere else. ePrintedBooks.com offers a variety of genres, including children's books from New York TV show host Alicia Stern, young adult books, including The Scared Crow by author Steve Caresser, even adult books by a variety of authors. Browse a selection of titles you can't find anywhere else today at your new online bookstore, ePrintedBooks.com.
Do you need to lose some weight? Then listen up. Lose weight, have a more attractive body, and be the best version of you possible. You can do it. It's possible with the tips and secrets you'll learn when you download your free ebook at bestmetabolismboosters.com. That's right. These secrets and tips are yours totally free. And you can have a body that will turn heads. You can also improve your health. People who are overweight or obese are at increased risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, and other ailments. Losing even small amounts of weight, 5 to 10% of body weight, may reduce these risks. The free ebook at bestmetabolismboosters.com reveals what foods should be eaten daily and which foods you should avoid. This free offer ends soon, so visit bestmetabolismboosters.com today before it's too late. Results may vary.
KJagRadio.com. 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 KJagRadio.com.
You got the power, I got the steam. You're a
KJagRadio.com.